Hello, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. You are now entering Season 2 of the Swan Hockey Podcast. Swan Hockey is flying around the junior hockey world one episode at a time. You'll experience things dreams are made of, as well as things of terrible nightmares. Strap in, hold on, and enjoy the ride. And now, Swan Hockey.
What's going on, Mark? Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, all's good here. Just getting ready for the weekend.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know Sarge and Smitty are excited for you. I talked to them the other day. Win number 779, all-time regular season record in the USHL. Congratulations. How does that feel?
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And it's what would I say? It's definitely don't want to minimize it. It's a nice honor, and but been fortunate to have great ownership here with Mr. and Mrs. Cedar, especially over the last 16 years, and a lot of great, assistant coaches and scouts and players, and my wife Tammy, and all the people that support us. So there's just a lot of people that have contributed, to us being able to do a pretty good job.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when did you start thinking about it? Like, how close? Like, when did it become a thought that, like, hey, this is approaching, probably going to break the record?
I didn't. The only reason I even really thought about it really at all was just because other people would tell me about it. I just have always been more focused on our team, and it's just such a hard league to win in on any given night. So that's always been what my focus is, and always will be, and so that's kind of the approach.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's crazy though. Like, that's so many. I mean, realistically, like if you stay in the league, you're gonna hit 1,000 wins. Like like 800 is the next mile marker, right? But you're probably gonna hit 1,000 wins if you stay in the league. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And I just, I love the league, and feel real fortunate, to be in it and having the opportunity to work with the hockey players that are at this level, and the people that they are, and the competitors that they are. And again, to do it here with the group that we have, and the family atmosphere that we have, with Mr. and Mrs. Tadeo and their family, and Tammy and I, and just all the community here. It's just a special situation.
Yeah, and I know, I've been out there once. Like, I know it's a really cool atmosphere and everything for the players, for the fans. We had Ross Colton on the show back in episode 2 of this season. Like, he had a lot of really good things, obviously, to say about you and the organization. And, we got his point of view of, his time there in Cedar Rapids through Cedar Rapids onto college, onto the American League, on, now having a, good NHL career. Yeah. So it's a really cool thing out there in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, we think so, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what's the biggest thing for you in terms, like, putting together these winning teams? What's the biggest thing that you look for in the players? Like, what separates these guys from, obviously there's a lot of, players out there that are very close to USHL level, right? Or can play in the USHL. Like, I always say there's a difference between a guy that could play in the league versus a player, right? Like, a guy that could play in the league, that's like, okay, if a team is down a man and they needed somebody tonight, you can go out there. Yeah, you could play in the league. Nobody's going to know that you don't play in the, like, you'll fit in. You're not going to hurt the team. You're going to go out. You're going to skate around. You're going to come back even. The show goes on. Versus a player, somebody that 80% of the teams in the league want on their team. What, like, for you, what differentiates a guy that could play in the league versus a USHL player?
Well, I would say competitiveness and mental mental and physical toughness. I think those things go a long, long way. And I think a lot of times people overlook, the mental toughness side of things. And um, we talked to our guys a lot over the last couple of weeks here, and even as recently as this morning with some of these young players that have made NHL rosters. And the Pittsburgh Penguins having an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old playing last night. That obviously they're talented, but they can have all the talent in the world if they're not mentally tough. Pretty hard to get in there and win a job at that level. And I think, to a certain extent, you see that shine through in our league where there's, there are a lot of talented players out there, but, to have the mental and physical toughness and the competitiveness and the work ethic, those things go a long, long way.
Yeah, and I find that's like one of the biggest, like one of the biggest filters as you get, the higher up you go, because to a certain extent, the body has limitations, right? Like you can only skate so fast, you can only shoot a puck so hard. Like when you get to a certain level, I feel that so many players' skills kind of become the same or interchangeable. Like, yeah, like your top end guys are clearly better, but like after that, everybody's kind of close. And the difference is the guys at the highest levels, like you look at the difference between an NHL player and an AHL player, the guys in the NHL, they're just at like a whole different level mentally.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's something that we talk to our guys about for sure.
Yeah. I mean, and how, like in your opinion, how do they start developing that? Like, like there's a lot of players that I talk to and deal with. And, one thing, like we talk a lot about like perspective and, hey, it's just seeing it differently. It's not necessarily adding all these different layers on top of it. It's just standing in a different corner of the same room, seeing it differently, different perspective. And to your point, thinking the game different, seeing it different, and, I guess behaving a little bit different. Like how do you guys instill that in Cedar Rapids?
Well, one comment I would make is this: when you mention, players that have it and maybe, the ones that maybe need to work on it or don't have it. I think to me, like the parents are the key. And time and time again, I'll meet the parents and I'll say, okay, now I understand why the son, the player is the way that he is. And it's because of how he was raised. So to me, that's I believe, just, in my opinion, that's the biggest factor.
Is the parents.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So for you, that's a big part of your interview process when determining whether or not you guys want to bring a kid into Cedar Rapids.
Well, we try to learn as much as we can, and sometimes it's difficult. And a lot of times it's even after the fact of when we draft a player, or because it's hard to get around and meet everybody.
Sure.
But a lot of times it's after the fact, and you'll sit and say, okay, I understand now why this player is the way he is, because you can just tell the way the mom and dad handle themselves.
Yeah, and it's a shame. I know exactly what you're talking about, because like there's certain times, I mean, we've all come in, across players like where it's like, all right, like the kid has the ability, missing one or two things, they could definitely be worked with, but it's just like, like the kid just doesn't get it, and you don't know if he's ever gonna get it, and you're kind of sick of trying to make him get it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah. It's like,
then some of the other. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. You go. I want to hear what you have to say.
I was going to say, in some of the others, you can see, right away they come in, they listen, they do things right. They pick up on things. They, look you in the eye. And sometimes you can tell, fairly quickly that, hey, this guy's is really gonna be able to do something.
Yeah, and the other part too that like I think people don't understand is like when the player's missing a couple things, where he's close but not there, where he's just barely there. usually those guys are a little bit down the depth chart, right? Like if they're missing a few things, they're kind of a little bit of a development project. They're down on the depth chart. One thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is coaches don't want any problems whatsoever with a depth player, right? Like if you have the leading scorer in the USHL on your roster, you'll probably put up with a little more from him than you will a guy that's in and out of the lineup. And I think that a lot of guys don't realize that too. Like when you're that development project, like you have to do everything you can to mentally be sharp and to be doing the right things and to be, open to a different perspective and open to advice and willing to, embrace it. Cause that's the other thing I find too, like where a lot of players, like they'll hear it, maybe they'll even understand it, but that change you're asking them to make, they won't embrace it. And, for players that are in that category, usually they're lower on the depth chart. Like they got to be doing everything they can to be an extremely coachable player. Cause again, like coaches don't want problems, especially from the bottom end of the depth chart.
Yeah, and that exactly. And it's, just trying to think of how to like, how to just say that respectfully. I mean, because it's just true. When and especially in our league, we're fortunate to have the I don't want to say a big player pool, but I mean a lot. I suppose we do. A lot of players want to play in the USHL, and I mean, I remember, I'm friendly with Greg Carvel, and I just remember one of his presentations, that coach at UMass, and just talking about, choosing character, whenever possible, and making sure that you understand the character of the players, and it's a big, it's a big piece, because usually if the guys have, strong character, then you can, get them to, execute almost anything, I feel like, and be willing to put the team first.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like being coachable. And I think, like being willing to accept and embrace different, I don't even want to say criticism, but I guess like criticism in a non-negative way, just like, hey, try this. Like we need you to do this. I find that's very hard for young players.
Yeah, and I would say, the way I would word it, just being able to accept coaching in general.
Yeah, for sure. Like I have that conversation so many times with people, like, or even like a player's like, but that's easy. It's like, hey, if what the coach is asking you to do is easy, that's a good thing for you. Like you don't need to make this game as hard as it could possibly be. Play to your strengths. If something's easy, if that's what they want from you and it's easy for you, do it. And you're going to be successful at it. And that coach is going to be singing your praises to every college he speaks with, that to everybody, that you're doing exactly what he wants and doing it consistently.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well said.
Yeah. I think, I just find, I find like one thing that I always try to, instill in players is just that, like, they want like the basics, right? Like you guys, there's like certain non-negotiables that they have to get done. Like the other stuff, if you can't do the non-negotiables, the other stuff pretty much doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
What are you looking forward to most about the, the remainder of the season? I say the remainder, we're just at the very beginning of it, but obviously, this big accomplishment, this close into the season. What are you looking forward to the most the rest of the season?
Well, I'm fortunate that I look forward every day. I love practice. I love video. I love talking with our guys. The opportunity every day to help our guys get better as individual players, to help our team get better. So really just looking forward to the next day. And that's how I've always been. It's why I love this level, and just really lucky to do what I do.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking about this today, because like obviously I knew we had this episode coming up. Do you have stats on everything else? Like how many players you've moved to Division I, how many NHL draft picks, how many guys that are currently in the NHL, like all from your time at the Rough Riders?
Yeah, I do. I wish I had more of them, but I have like a pretty good idea a pretty good account on like how many players have played in the NHL, how many draft picks, how many free agent signings, Hobie Baker Award winners, those kinds of things.
Yeah. Do you have it off the top of your head?
Yeah, I do, because when we're talking and recruiting players and things like that, it's important. And we've had somewhere between 35 and 40 players that have played games in the NHL. We've had, somewhere in the high, probably 40 now or more NHL draft picks. Around 35-ish, like free agent signings of players that went to college who ended up signing as free agents, which pretty darn proud of that. And one thing I do think is pretty cool is we have three of the last 14 approximately Hobie Baker Award winners. Andy Neely was at Miami, Adam Gaudette, who was at Northeastern, and then Scotty Perunovich, who was at Minnesota Duluth. So we have three alum that had won the Hobie.
Wow, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. Well, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I want to thank you for doing this, Mark. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day, and to everybody listening, thank you for joining us. And yeah, let us know what you think in the Discord. You can get there from swanhockey.com or swanhockey.io. Again, for anybody that's participating in season pass, we have the new streaming rewards going now. I'll give you guys a code for this episode. The code for this episode will be winner. Enter it on the podcast page at swanhockey.io. But again, these codes are coming to an end with the new way we're doing the streaming rewards. You can get more information in the Discord. Yeah, no, Mark, thank you again very much, and congratulations on everything.
Well, thank you very much again, and thanks for having me on. Really appreciate that, and love to hear the New Jersey accent, baby. Love it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Always great to have another New Jersey guy on here, and yeah, no, like I said, I know Sarge and Smitty are excited for you. Obviously, I talk to those guys all the time. Dealing with the Federal League and doing FPHL Beyond the Glass, and yeah, and I know those guys are they tell me stories all the time and talk about you all the time, and yeah, so I know a lot of support here from New Jersey for you.
Well, thank you, and please tell those guys. Smitty and Sarge just said hello, and then when you're in Jersey, you gotta go down the shore, baby. Yeah. No, I'll tell them. Yeah, no, it's home for me. I live at the Jersey Shore, so we always say the beach. We always laugh when we hear people say down the shore, but yeah. But yeah, no, I'll tell those guys for sure. I'm sure they'll listen to this. Yeah, no, they got their opening weekend this weekend. Cool. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, it's really cool to see what they're doing in that league and everything. I mean, that league, they're expanding in the Midwest. That league will, Topeka, Kansas is the farthest out west right now. I mean, they're coming out by you guys soon. Well, okay. All right. So, all right. Yeah, no, cool. 14 teams are expecting over 1 million fans through the gates this year. It's, it's really cool what they're doing in that league. Yeah, that is. That's great. So, but that's great. Yeah. All right, Mark. Well, yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, thanks again. All right, thanks, Talk Mark. To you soon.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Swan Hockey Podcast. We remind you that season pass points are available to listeners. For more information, please visit www.swanhockey.io. Until next time.